there, everybody. Karen Roby and Veronica Combs here for Tech Republic. We're talking today, this is really neat, I think, about the Deserted Island DevOps Conference, Veronica, that you just attended, of course, online.
Yes.
We've been reading about, talking about how tech conferences and things like that are going to look different in the future, if they will. And this is the start of it as we're all on lockdown, having to do this all online. So tell us about the conference and what you got out of it.
So Animal Crossing New Horizons is a re-release of a Nintendo game. It came out on the Switch on, I think, March 23rd. So sort of at the very start of this whole lockdown, you can't go anywhere. And what's interesting about the game is that it moves in real time. So if you plant a flower, you have to wait a few days for it to actually grow. And so it's not sped up, or nothing is automatic or instant. You have to wait. And so a developer advocate, Austin Parker, said, maybe we should hold, our conferences in Animal Crossing, and just as a joke. But people said, well, I would speak at a conference like that. And some of the speakers that I interviewed, it was last week, they said they were already kind of sick of Zoom, tired of presenting on Zoom. And so this was the forum.
I
So
agree.
basically, yeah. So basically, you have to have an avatar, and you build the organizer built this little conference room with a laptop and a screen, and so you're watching the person in Animal Crossing, and then they have the slides for the talk kind of up in another corner of the screen. And of course, it was broadcast on Twitch, and there was a Discord channel, so it was just sort of, you could watch the person, the avatar in Animal Crossing. You could check out the slides. You could see what people saying on Discord. You could follow on Twitch. And people just loved it. Animal Crossing is sort of, I think of it as a pastel world. Everyone's very cheery. To show excitement or happiness, the avatars emit little flowers.
I love that.
It was very sweet and sort of non-threatening, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they talked about really complicated things like building software and mob programming, and it was very technical. It wasn't about gathering berries. It was about building a team, managing failure. Each talk had to have some kind of Animal Crossing theme. And so that's where the name of the conference came from. Everyone is on their own deserted island in Animal Crossing. So this was Deserted Island DevOps.
Got it. And I know you mentioned in the article, but the funny thing is it actually started kind of the idea of it as a joke, right? On Twitter.
Yes, Austin Parker, one of the main organizers, he said, well, if we can't have booths at conferences, maybe we can have booths in Animal Crossing. And he built this little booth.
I love it.
Part of Animal Crossing is customization. Your house can look however you want. You can have whatever color hair you want, your outfits and all this stuff. And so speakers at the conference made their own swag. So a beanie with a MondoDB logo on it, or they made their own swag to give away to people in Animal Crossing. So you could wear your hoodie or whatever it is to show your affiliation. So
I love that. Yeah, very creative. And I think one of the interesting things too, as you mentioned, this was very technical. It wasn't just about the fun side of this. The two is that, being on Twitch and things like that, maybe for older developers that aren't familiar with Twitch and watching things on that, can learn too through this.
Right. In fact, my son bought Animal Crossing the day it came out. We went to GameStop, and that was literally right before everything closed down. I think that's the last time I went anywhere. So you could understand Animal Crossing, this really popular new game on the Nintendo Switch. You could see how this live streaming a game or a video game works in Twitch. You could see the feedback channels, and then on Discord, they had all these sub conversations. So there was the speaker Q&A, there was the hallway chat. People say, the hallway is the best part of any conference because you get to see people and talk and have unexpected interactions. And so it really kind of was a way to see, what is this game? How are people talking to one another? How are people trading information and learning things? One of the speakers talked a lot about research from Google. And how do you build teams that can really work well together? And how can you build resilient teams? And so, instead of saying, oh, I'll send you my notes after the talk, you could just click right there because it was in the chat stream on Twitch, and you could find what you wanted right away. And it really showed, having all those resources right there showed you all the thought that had gone into these presentations. And a lot of the speakers were developer advocates. And that is a kind of a new role. It's a way to help developers, software engineers, learn more about the platform they're working on or learn from other people. And it was just such a creative way to get better at your job and learn more about the platform that you're working on.
Excellent. Who would have thought that GameStop would be the last place that you would have been able to go to before being stuck in your home? Well, it's, it's interesting. And I think it's going to be interesting, Veronica, as we know, to see how, as this evolves, how what we're doing now will really influence in the future conferences and things like this when ideas come up, and compared to how we used to do things. So this is like a little insight, a little window into how we might be doing things more often.
Right, right. And they recorded all of the presentations, and the link is in my article. So if you want to see what a conference looks like presented in Animal Crossing, you can experience it for yourself.
That's right. Check it out, everybody, on Tech Republic. Thanks for watching.